We all dream of an ideal version of ourselves that may look something like this.
All the members got their own money, you get challenges. How you spend 130,000 on the challenges? This a demon, I done turn my partner to my manager. Close another deal for 20 mil, that La Ferrari coming. I put glue on both sides of the ball, I know.
But the reality of things is that most of us couldn't be any further away from it.
Jeffrey visualizes himself failing without even realizing it. He always sees himself f***ing up.
We assume that we would make the best decisions for ourselves, but in reality, we let ourselves be controlled by what society expects from us. And like many millennials, it might lead us down a path that could potentially leave us miserable. You see, most of us think we know ourselves, but the truth is we really don't. Most of us don't even know what we want in life. We choose a specific career path or go to college at a certain time, even if we don't feel ready yet, just because it's expected of us. I mean, some of us might even act a certain way around certain people just so we could fit in and be accepted. We literally live in a world where you're born yourself, but with societal pressure, you mold into something that you later don't even recognize. I mean, think about it. How many of you guys, if you didn't have your friend group, how many of you guys would have started drinking or smoking weed or doing any type of drugs in the first place if it wasn't for your friend group? Or gay people too, right? Like, it's slowly changing now, right? But gay people also, like, how many of them weren't able to be themselves, right? Just because of society, right? Like, who the fuck gives a fuck if they like the same gender? What does it affect you, right? Or your career path, right? I mean, I hope this isn't happening still, bro. Like, I genuinely hope this isn't still happening. But how many, I know this happened in millennials, right? How many millennials chose a career path that they're not even fucking happy with just because maybe when they were younger, their parents, their family, and everybody else around them, it was expected for them to do, right? But are you guys ready for a mind-blowing thought? You know the quote that everybody says, like, oh, I'm gonna go find myself, you know, like, oh, I'm in the process of finding myself. I don't think that's the right term. We don't go out and find ourselves. We're already ourselves. It's just hidden under all those layers that we put on throughout our lives. And what I mean by layers is that, you know how I said that you're born yourself, right? You're born yourself, but throughout your life you put on these layers that society gives you, right? Just so you could like live in society and not be criticized and fit in and all that shit. And so by finding yourself, what you have to do is just slowly, one by one, take each layer off like it's clothes, right? Like you're putting on all this clothes, for example, right? One by one, you have to take all these layers off until essentially you're naked, right? Like you're your true self. That's what I mean by naked. So I want to introduce you guys to journaling, and journaling is basically talking to yourself. And I know that sounds weird, but let me explain, because this concept, this habit, it's fucking mind-blowing. It's so simple, but it's mind-blowing, like stupidly fucking powerful, right? So get this, right? Say you meet a stranger, right? You don't know them at all, right? Like, they're a stranger. How do you get to know a stranger? By talking to them, right? By asking them questions. That's exactly the same process. Have you ever had a conversation with yourself? Have you ever asked yourself questions? A lot of people don't do this because they assume, oh, I know myself, right? But knowing yourself isn't what kind of candy you like or what's your favorite movie, right? Or what your interests are. No, knowing yourself is like deep down knowing who you are as a person, right? Like your purpose on life, what you exactly want in this life, right? Knowing yourself is just asking yourself and having that deep ass conversation with yourselves that you've most likely probably never had. I mean, how many of you guys have had those deep ass conversations with friends late at night and it gets so fucking deep, bro? It's like, oh yeah, life, man, it's just I want to be this, you know, like, oh, these are my dreams, or like, honestly, this is what I've been through, you know, like just deep ass fucking conversations with yourselves, dude. And for anybody that has gone through trauma, this is basically therapy, right? But without a stranger, because I know there's a lot of people that's down through trauma, depression, or whatever, right? And they honestly might need a therapy, because talking to somebody, have you ever talked to somebody and it actually puts off like you feel a weight like just leave you, right? Like you feel like a bit better after just talking, right? But a lot of us don't want to talk to somebody because we don't want to like make them feel bad for us, right? You don't want to feel like, you might feel even vulnerable talking to someone, right? So instead of talking to a stranger or even a friend at best, right, you're just talking to yourself in a notebook, right? I know it still might sound weird to you guys, but let me like just give me the chance to further on explain it. Journaling cures your overthinking. For those people that are depressed out there and actually don't know why, because I remember when I was depressed, I genuinely didn't know why the fuck I was depressed. I was just depressed, and I know there's a lot of people out there. For people that are depressed out there, this will help you understand why you're depressed, because you're actually communicating with yourself. I know this might sound weird, but like, you know how you're yourself, right? So this might get a little spiritual and shit. You know how you're yourself. So me, I'm Alonzo, right? There's actually two versions of you, bro. Like, I know that sounds sounds trippy and I don't want to get too spiritual, but there's two versions of you, right? There's your conscious version and there's your subconscious version, and your subconscious version is a higher, like your higher power than you, right? It's higher than you and shit. And this is your conscious, right? So like there's two versions of yourself, and this is the one dealing with all the bullshit and all the negative, and this is the one with all the answers, right? But it's currently like you don't have communication with him or her, whoever's watching, right? And you need to find a way to communicate with them because they have the answers, right? Not the answers of, maybe not the answers of how to cure it, but they have the answers. Hey, this is why you feel like this, bro. How are you not gonna know why you're sad, right? Like deep down in you, there's someone in you that knows why you're sad. You just have to be able to find a way to communicate with them. Humans are fucking smarter than you think, bro. You're smarter than you think. We're more, our brain, our subconscious, like our soul, our brain, literally everything, like there's the meaning of it, bro. It's like so deep. It's fucking huge. Like we're bigger than you think, bro. We're more than just fucking dirt made out, like we're more than just skin and bones, right? Like we're bigger than what you actually think of. So how do you journal, right? First, you're gonna get your favorite notebook and your favorite pen. At the top of the page, you're gonna write down the day. The very first line, you're gonna write topic and whatever the topic is, right? So your depression, literally anything, right? Like trying to find myself, depression, something that happened throughout the day, or anything that you're thought of, right? So for an example right here, I have moment of awakening, right? And I literally write down everything like that comes into mind, like whatever just happened. So for me, I journal about experiences, right? Like something that was just triggers in me. So it says moment of awakening. You know, I asked my biological mom what is the best choice short term, YouTube versus agency, and she dropped the realest shit on me that I didn't know I needed. This is literally what I mean, and it doesn't have to be like a debate or some shit like that. I remember a minute ago like journaling about depression and shit. So these are some topics for you, right? Like just write these down, right? Who do you truly want to be in life and why? Are you truly happy with the future you see yourself in? Why or why not? You know, and this means like job, spouse, etc. What do you want out of life and why? So this could be body, money, fame, health, happiness, fulfillment, anything, right? How are you going to achieve the things you want? What is the difference between you and your ideal self? What are the greatest fears and obstacles that hold you back in life? These are just some topics that you could get started, right? So like where it says topics, write down the question and just write down literally anything that comes to mind. You might be like, well, I don't know. Literally just pick up the pen and write one sentence, bro. It could be the dumbest shit ever. Like, what do I want to be in life? Oh, well, I want to be alive, you know, and then just continue from there, bro. Like the first sentence can be the dumbest shit ever, bro, but just continue from there. And I promise you guys, you'll literally just genuinely, there's when you're journaling, right, you eventually come into this flow state where your hand literally starts hurting because you have so many thoughts just coming in at once and you want to write them all down. So you're just like writing down hella and you want to keep going, bro. Like that's honestly a beautiful experience too, bro. Like just journaling hella until your point where your hand hurts. And I want to tell you guys something. So you could be like, I don't like writing, bro. Like I never liked writing. I never liked English in high school, right? The thing is, I don't think you actually don't like writing. I just think that you didn't like writing about the topics school made us write about. So after I gave you guys some topics and you think about other topics you could possibly write about, go somewhere where you'll feel comfortable and won't get interrupted. For some of you guys, not just me being in your room, you know, literally go anywhere. But anyways, I want to give you guys a rule that it has to be in, right? I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, nah, I don't want to fucking write this down. I'll just type it out on my phone, because this is the exact same shit my girlfriend said to me when I introduced this to her, and I was like, no, this cannot be on your phone, guys. This strictly needs to be on paper and pen, because on paper and pen, something in you just gets triggered and gets turned on. It like you think more, right? Like you're actually able to connect with your higher self. So okay, I'm about to go on this rant, but like it's gonna be so helpful. You guys are gonna be like, oh fuck, that makes so much fucking sense. So you know how like there's that one friend that's a good therapist, right, to other people, but for his own problems or her own problems, she doesn't know shit. Like she can't fix anything, or that might even be you, right? This is why, bro, because you're the third person. You don't feel the stress, you don't feel the emotional fucking like stress that comes with it, right? And when you're thinking emotionally, you don't think correctly, right? And since you're not the one with the emotions and you built up with the stress, you're able to think more logically, because when you're calm, you think more logically, right? Because the problems aren't yours, so you're able to think clearly and just come up with better solutions than the person that is just all emotionally stressed. So when it comes down to you, you're the one feeling the emotional stress, right? So when you're writing this down, like listen to this, when you're writing shit down, you're in a third person view, and third person person feeling, right? And you think logically, you're able to think more logically, because now it's not you dealing with the emotional stress, it's just your body, right? Like your mentality, right? So we got, that's the best way I could fucking put it. So there's two of you. There's your fucking brain, and then there's your fucking soul, right? Your soul is the higher, like your higher power, right? The higher version of you, and then it's your brain. So your soul is like up there, right? And it's just looking down at your brain, and it's fucking insane, bro. This is life changing, guys. This is fucking huge, and I feel like everybody in the world should be doing this, right? Because you genuinely don't have to change anything about your life right now, right? Because that's gonna take discipline and willpower. It's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. But with journaling, you eventually even want to do it. Like you yourself, you're gonna want to change yourself, because you get to know yourself, and you get to know why you're not doing some of the shit that you want to do, and you get to understand yourself and genuinely know what you want in life. And you like, your life changes for the better. Your mentality, the way you view the world, yourself, literally everything, right? It's like almost like your third eye fucking opens, but not completely, but it's like it's opening, right? It's like the beginning of it opening. This is stage one. This is like the beginning of a change, guys. This is genuinely like if you've ever felt like you want to change in life, and like you're built for more, and like you're just like, you're stuck, like you're not doing shit, but you know you're meant for more. This is the beginning of it, guys. Truly being able to understand yourself and fixing your mental health. Like this literally helps so much. Mental health, depressions, get you out of ruts, overthinking, any debates, anything bothering you, getting to know yourself, right? Getting like just literally fucking anything, bro. I'll throw screenshots up on the screen of how much shit that, like how many topics I have journaled about that it's helped me up with. But the last thing I'd want to leave you guys off with is, don't force it, bro. You don't have to do this every night. You don't have to do this every morning, right? This isn't something that you're gonna force. This isn't fucking homework. If you don't have anything to journal about tonight or today, right? And it doesn't have to be negative either. Like if your day went good and you want to talk about that in your journal, like why was it good, you know, and how could you keep it up? You could journal about that too, right? But don't force it. If you genuinely don't know what to journal about, if you don't feel like journaling today, don't do it. This isn't homework. This should be something that you want to do, right? So I'm gonna just leave you guys with that, right? Don't force it. I love you guys. Have a dope ass day. Keep improving. Like, good luck with your journey, and peace.